This tutorial will take you through users, adding users, user privileges, and also the groups feature within Invitbox. So from the admin tab, under My Company Information, if you click into users, you'll be taken to the users home screen. It is from here that you can add, delete and edit users. So if you want to delete an existing user, you quite simply choose delete. If you want to edit any details or edit their privileges, this is where you would do so. Or if you want to add a user, this is where you would add a user. So to add a user, you would type in first name, last name, phone number, job title, their email address, and select their role. Once done so, they will receive an email to confirm their new role activation. They simply click a link and that role will be active for that particular user, for that particular account. Now, I'm just going to go into an existing user to talk through the user privileges. Okay, so if I just go into my own personal user's profile, you'll notice at the bottom, under role, we've got these trees, these various approval trees. So if I change from an admin, because you'll notice that an admin automatically has every type of privilege, I change to user. We can now select certain roles to give this particular user in question. Okay, and I'll just go through these roles now. So first of all, you have an approver. This is the role you would give to the persons that will have access to the in-tray and will be carrying out either the only approval in the scenario where your account is set up for user only, or carrying out the first approval stage if you have a secondary approval setup or an executive approval setup. So if I simply give myself that access, I would only be able to access the in-tray, and all I could do would be approve, delete or dispute the invoices from the in-tray. I would have no privileges or access to the approve tab. Okay. Now, the second option is the accounts payable role. This is the role of the secondary approvals persons. So this would be whoever would be doing that secondary approval from the approve tab. You would give them just this role, and they would not have access to the in-tray to approve any invoices from the in-tray. They would only be able to sign off invoices from the approve tab. So this particular role allows you to sign off from the approve tab. It allows you to send invoices back to the in-tray, all of which will be detailed in the approve tab tutorial. The other two options that we have on screen is manual entry. So if you wish to give a user the permission just to do manual entry, so just simply log in, and if they only had manual entry, they would just view those scanned images and be able to enter those. That's all they would have access to do. Lastly is the maps. A user with just maps privileges, when they log in, they'll only view the electronic documents in the unknowns, and they will just be able to create maps, assign maps, and move invoices through to the in-tray from the unknowns. Okay. Now, it's important to note, if we did change this account to an executive account, so if I'll just quickly do that. Okay, so we change to an executive sign-off. I now go back into this users, into myself. You'll notice that there's an additional box has appeared, and this is the box you would tick to give this user the executive approval, the ability to sign off an invoice as an executive. Again, there's more detail on this in the approve tab. Under role, we have one last particular role type, and that's an auditor. So quite simply, if you give someone auditor access, they will have read-only access to the filing cabinet. This role is used for obviously auditors or any persons that you want to just have read-only and search capabilities within the filing cabinet. Okay, so that's one way that you can restrict certain users' access. Now the second way that you can restrict invoices and visibility to users is through our groups function. So underneath the users, we have groups. Now, if I go into groups, I'm going to add a couple of random groups. Create that one. Create that one. So what we've done is we've created 2 groups. Now, in real scenario, you would perhaps have marketing, operations, executive, kitchen, whatever. You set the groups up whichever way fits best with your particular business. And then what you simply do is for that particular group, you can add certain suppliers into that group, and you can add certain users into that group. Now you'll notice that all of these users are automatically in this group on the left, and there's none in the non-assigned. The reason for that is because these are all admin users. Now if these users were not admins, they would be on the right hand side and you would have to move those across. Okay. So what this means is that you can direct invoices through certain paths to certain users, and this means that they will first of all not have visibility on invoices that they shouldn't be seeing, so it gives some confidentiality, but it also speeds up the process. So when a user logs in to the in-tray, for example, as an approver, they will only see invoices which are relevant to them. So it makes the process of approving invoices a lot quicker. It's important to note that when the group function is turned on, in the in-tray, you can only see your particular groups, and this also applies to the filing cabinet. So in the filing cabinet, you can also only see invoices from your particular group when you search. To delete a group, you can simply delete, and we'll just delete both of these for now, and that turns the group function off. So if you have no groups assigned, that turns the group function off automatically. As soon as you assign a group, that turns the function on. And it's as simple as that.